What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm on Talks Gaming. Today I'm going to be bringing you a Jurrac deck. This is a part of a Can We Build It series that we've been doing over the channel over the last couple of weeks, and I wanted to continue it with a brand new deck today. So I decided to go with Jurrac. I think this is a deck that does not get as much love as it really should, especially in this format, because I think it's very decent. Like, it's definitely a top rogue contender. After playtesting it and everything, it's like very surprising that we're not really seeing a lot of this deck, at least on the rogue ladder. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to jump into it. We're playing the new Hassleberry skill, which is actually not that bad. You guys have probably seen it in my other Dino deck if you pay attention. But yeah, it's really good. You gain 200 life points during your draw phase. If you draw a dinosaur monster, you can put that card to the bottom of the deck, then draw a new card. So that's really good in itself. And then it has a third effect that says you can target a dino monster on your field and give it 200 attack. So this skill does 3 things in 1 turn, which is like insane. This deck really is good. It has multiple variants to it. You can go aggro with it, you can stall with it, you can burn with it. Like, the deck is very versatile, and mostly with this skill over here allowing you to do the same things. Like, literally you gain life points, you can mulligan your cards, you can turn monsters into aggro monsters. Like, it's very good. And so without further ado, I'm going to jump right into the main deck. So the main deck, we're playing 3 Jurrac Sterico. Sterico is really cool. If it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you just get to summon 2 tokens, and those tokens can't be used for a tribute summon, except for the tribute summon of a Jurrac monster. So, yeah, it's pretty much just to fill your board with monsters that, will clog up the board, and then your opponent has to punch through them to eventually get to your life points. So Jurrac Sterico is, or however you pronounce this guy's name, is just a perfect card to stall out the game a little bit longer. So he's really good. And then to search him out, you actually have UFO Turtle. And so Turtle's really cool in this deck because all your Jurrac monsters are fire monsters. Unfortunately, the only one you're searching is Sterico. But Turtle can search out Sterico, and then as you stall through the game again. So you go into your Turtle lock. If you need to go into all 3, you can. Then end on Sterico. And need to just if your opponent only has 2 monsters on the field, you just float into the other turtle, and then the turtle floats into it. And then, yeah. Lastly, for the Jurrac monsters, though, we're playing Hera, however you want to pronounce this card's name. This is a really cool one because it's a hand trap special summon, right? So if a Jurrac monster that's in defense position is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. I didn't even read the or graveyard effect. That's actually really cool. So it's like really interesting to see this card. And so what happens is Sterico, when it's destroyed in defense mode and sent to the graveyard, you can then summon Hera, and then Sterico gets to fill your field with 2 more tokens. However, keep in mind, tokens don't go to the graveyard, so Hera doesn't summon off the tokens, which is unfortunate, but that's just the design of the card. So we play this card to 3 just because it's a hand trap and apparently a graveyard card too. So that's really cool. If you guys want, you can always cut Hera down to 2. And then you can play 2 copies of your Elementosaurus or 2 copies of your Zombina. But Elementosaurus is really cool in this deck because if you have your tokens on the field with the Sterico, Elementosaurus becomes a 2,000 attack point beater, and then paired with the skill is 2,200, which it's kind of really good. It does well this meta, the 2,200 beater does. So yeah, Zombina floats back the Stericos if you need it, in case you have Heras that you want to get out on the field. So there's that. Our spell lineup is actually just 2 cards and it's Tail Swipe. I think this card's a very strong dinosaur card, especially in this format. So you just target a level 5 or higher dinosaur monster, being your Hera, and then when you do, you choose up to 2 monsters, by the way, your opponent controls that have a lower levels in it or face down, and you return them to your opponent's hand. So yeah, that's kind of insane in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but that is really, really good. Being able to just bounce 2 monsters on the field to the hand as you will. And it pairs really well with the 2 Floodgate Trap Hole we have in our trap card. So when your opponent will summon a monster, you'll Floodgate it, and then you'll summon your Hera later on, Tail Swipe the Floodgated card and another monster, and then boost the Hera to 2,500 and attack for 2,500 direct damage. And to go on with our stall cards, we have Zoma at 3 and Wheel at 2, so we can actually burn our opponent out of the game with our UFO Turtles and Stericos. So that's just very good in my opinion. Not only that, but say you're like you've already used 2 of your Storicos this game, and you have turtles. So if you draw into the Storico, you can actually mulligan the Storico, and then the turtle can still float into it. So it's like really cool to like keep these in your deck because the skill allows you to do that. And so you have no turtle is just so good compared with its skill. The side deck is just Cosmic Cyclones, D Fusions, and DD Warrior Ladies. I find myself siding in DD Warrior Ladies and taking out the Zombinas and Element Saurus a lot after testing this. And I think that's fine. I think I still want to have these in the main deck for game 1, but if I'm against SPA or another like weird deck that like I can't tail swipe out of, or Nightmare Wheel out of, or Floodgate out of, then I go for the Warrior Ladies. D-Fusion's in here for the Dragoon, because Dragoon kind of messes his deck up. And then Cosmic Cyclones for Moss, because, it's Rogue. It's not going to perform well against the top deck in the game. But yeah. And then we got our Awaken the Dragon Bluffs, which is just, the cards I usually throw in here. Other than for that, though, guys, I'm going to jump right into this showcase. Alright, so we're up against Elixir again, and, yeah, this guy's cool. This is the second time we playing him, second match in a row that we are playing against him, so that's also really cool. Yesterday's video we played him, so yeah. So we got Room for Growth versus I've got Dino DNA, which is like really cool. Let me show both. So as you know, he's playing Duck, so, and like I said, we're playing Jurrac. So Growth summons Hunter and then passes turn there. I draw for turn, drawing into the Zone of the Spirit. I set the Floodgate and the Zoma face down, and then I just pass turn here because I don't have a Jurrac monster, so I can't summon the Hera. My Element Saurus is, an Element Saurus and needs other monsters on the field to work. So it's like one of those things where I just felt like he's going to summon a 2600 beater. There's nothing I can do, so I can Floodgate whatever he summons, and then Zoma the Spirit hits attacking monsters. So I was actually really upset he didn't hit multiple copies of Duck or other monsters here, because they would have both got flipped with Floodgate Trap Hole. So that's unfortunate, but hey, it happens. Summoning the other Duck here, giving it to 26. I'll take the 1700 as direct, and then I'll take the or I'll activate the Zoma on the 2600 attack. So going on to our turn, I'm going to draw, getting into the Hera, using I've got Dino DNA to gain 200, and then using the other effect here to mulligan the Hera to the deck to draw another card. By the way, it puts Hera to bottom of deck, so keep that in mind. Go switch the Zoma to attack mode and summon the Element Saurus here. And I'm actually just going to use the skill to boost Element Saurus to 1700. That way I can just clash with the Duck and get as much monsters off the field as I possibly can before he can get the Justy break. So I go into the end phase, he draws for turn. It's an Enchanting Fitting Room again. Pays the 800, and then he mills 4 and actually whiffs here, which is really good for us, because if he would have gotten 2, we would have been in such a bad situation, it would have been unreal. So, but I guess it doesn't really matter too much, because he is at 23, so it's like, you can't really do much to my Zoma. Gaining the 200, oh, wow. So if you guys didn't see that, we gained the 200, and then I just tribute summoned our Zoma, summoned the Hera, and then used the tail swipe to bounce the 2 targets to hand. And then, yeah, we have 2300 on board, using the skill, make it a 25 for no reason, and then attacking directly for game. So yeah, that's just like a little bit of a taste of how this is. Like that, this deck is really good. We were able to control so much with that game because of like how this deck runs. And then going on into game 2. They have the straight flush, the Cosmic Cyclone, the Sonic Duck, and then ending turn off here. Going to draw phase, we're going to gain our 200 life points. We're going to mulligan the Hera to the bottom of the deck and then draw a card. And then, yeah, we got like Dracos, UFO Turtles, and another Hera, so we didn't necessarily need that Hera there. We go ahead and set our Draco face down, opponent draws into the Hunter Dragon, and then uses the effect to make the Sonic Duck a little stronger. Attacking into the face down monster. I don't know why he didn't summon Hunter here, but I digress. And then I summon 2 of my tokens here, and my Hera here. So the tokens then summon to the field, being the Jurrac tokens. and then they pass turn off to me. Drawing for turn, I draw into the floodgate, go into my main phase 1, and then I guess I battle phase, attack into the Sonic Duck. He takes the life points and then loses the monster. Drawing for turn, he gets the Enchanting Fitting Room, uses the Cosmic Cyclone here to pay 1,000 just to get rid of the floodgate, which is like real nice. Uses the Fitting Room again and mills the top 4, getting the Zombie Dragon here. Still doesn't have the Justy Breaks in the deck. So that was like a good sign for me to see that there was no Justy Break last turn, and then he just milled 2 off the deck. So that means he didn't draw on this turn either. Gaining an extra 900 attack points onto the Hunter Dragon here. They go to climb the Hera, will take the damage, and then they climb the token. And of course I don't get Hera off the token here. Draw phase, we gain the 200. We set the UFO turtle to stall and then set the Zoma, and then pass turn back to the opponent, who does draw into the Justy Break here. They room for growth, and they make the Hunter Dragon 26 again. Attacking into the UFO turtle, we actually use the turtle here to float into another turtle, and then they attack into the token, which is really cool. Going into the draw phase, we actually draw into the other Jurrac. We gain the 200 here, putting us up to 4,500, and then we return the Jurrac to the bottom of the deck, and then draw a new card. Drawing into the Nightmare Wheel. So not only do we have our stall going on here, but we also, we're in a really good situation in general. Hitting the end phase, we end the turn and pass it off to the opponent, who draws into the Sonic Duck, using the room for growth again, being 2,600, and then attacks the UFO turtle with the Zombie Dragon. We use UFO turtle's effect here. UFO turtle is going to summon out the UFO turtle, and then he's going to declare an attack into the turtle with the Hunter Dragon. But we're going to wheel there, causing the opponent to go on a time clock. Going into their end phase, we draw for turn, drawing into the Hera. We use Dino DNA here to gain 200 life points, tribute off our UFO turtle, and then summon our Jurrac Hera, using the tail swipe here because, I don't want to run into the Justy Break. So I use the tail swipe here and I bounce them both to hand. It's I'm not sure if this will work. It wouldn't have, so just letting them know, but I just Zoma the Spirit, so in case it would cause some sort of argument, I didn't want to get into MST doesn't negate today. So yeah, just entering the battle phase, attacking for 2,300 direct damage, and the last card face down was the Justy Break, like I said. I played around it completely, and I did very well. So this deck did well against Duck, guys. Duck is one of those top rogue contenders, and it's super good this format, and Jurrac actually was able to fight against it and did very well in this match. So if that gives you any idea, not only that, but the deck is just so good. It's so fun. It's so much fun, and I highly recommend giving it a try. I'm having a lot of fun with the Can We Build It series, so if you guys have any ideas of your own, make sure you leave your idea in the comment section. We can build it for the next episode. I'd love to hear from each and every one of you. The more I hear from you, the more ideas we can come up with, so that would be great. Other than for that though, guys, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.